Shalom Aleichem, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful week. It is Erev Shabbos Parshas Vayechi, and this week's Dvar Torah is being dedicated by the Kopel family, Mr. and Mrs. Kopel Shabi. Their son is a Shana Aleph boy in Yeshiva this year, and it's being dedicated in honor of the yahrzeit, the second yahrzeit of Shabi's grandmother, Rebbetzin Ruth Schoenfeld. Rebbetzin Schoenfeld was an incredible woman. Together with her husband, Shibadl Chaim Tov Baruchim, Rabbi Schoenfeld, they built the community in Forest Hills. Tremendous koach in building many things in New York. Leaders of the community, and the Kopel family is also celebrating this week the wedding of Shabi's sister, Mirz Hashem. So there's a real combination of nechama and for the Rebbetzin Schoenfeld and the life cycle of marrying off a child, and the Mirz Hashem, we will see tremendous nachas from Shabi, tremendous nachas from the new Kala, and the smachot should be a nechama for the family. In this week's parsha, we read Parshas Vayechi. I want to show you three very short divrei Torah that perhaps combine into a single core idea. So at the end of the parsha, at the beginning of the parsha, we're told that Yaakov Avinu brings Yosef in to share with him that he's about to die, and he demands of him. He asks him to take a shvua, al na tigbereni b'Mitzrayim. And this is found in Perek Mem Zayin, Pasuk Lamed Aleph. Yosef takes a shvua that he's not going to bury Yaakov in Mitzrayim, and the Ramban is bothered. Hard to understand. Did Yaakov not trust Yosef? Was Yosef not going to fulfill the wishes of his father? After all, Hayachoshe b'bno hatzadik, Yosef was a great tzaddik, was beloved. Did Yaakov really think that Yosef would not fulfill his wishes, that he required a shvua? So the Ramban asks that question. The Ramban answers, Asa kain lechazek ha'inyan be'enei paro, ulai lo yiten lo reshus liparei mimenu, ve'yomer lo shalach es achicha v'savadecha ve'aleu sham, o shiachpotz parshi kavar hanav be'artzo lichvod lahem u'lizchus, ve'lachem hishbiyo, ki lo yeh nachon laha'aviro al shvuaso, ve'gam Yosef yitztarech Yoter lihishtadel mipnei hashvua. So the Ramban says a very important insight. So first of all, Paro might have gotten in the way. Paro might have not wanted Yaakov to be buried outside of Mitzrayim. Paro might not want to have let Yosef leave even for a short duration. He needed Yosef. So to kind of push Paro off on the side and make sure Paro doesn't get in the way, that's one reason for the shvua. But then he adds, V'gam Yosef yitztarech Yoter lihishtadel be'inyan mipnei hashvua. Even Yosef, who certainly wanted to fulfill the will of his father, but even Yosef was going to work extra hard because of the shvua. I believe what the Ramban is saying is a very powerful insight. Of course, Yosef was going to fulfill his father's wishes, but sometimes in life, good excuses get in the way. My job, this need, that need, valid excuses. And it could be that Yosef's responsibilities to Paro, to Mitzrayim, would have been 100% valid. He was running the country after all. A 100% valid excuse. And therefore, Yaakov says to Yosef, take a shvua. Make sure this gets done even when you have legitimate reasons that it should not. And the shvua is going to put Yosef, in a certain sense, over the top to make sure under all circumstances it's actually going to happen. This is a very fundamental Musar Haskel that's being expressed by the Ramban. Because oftentimes we have good intentions. We make resolutions. We say we're going to go on a diet. We do a lot of things. We have very good intentions. And then, in a certain sense, life gets in the way. Good reasons, stress, anxieties, different things get in the way. You know what, I really do want to diet, but now's not the right time. Now's not the right time to start learning Daf Yomi. Now's not the right time to do extra chasadim. There's too many things in the house, too much with the kids, whatever the case may be. So the lesson is that when you have those moments of inspiration, when you know what's the right thing to do, so you have to lock it in. You have to do something concrete that's going to lock it in. Take your virtual shvua to make sure that even perhaps legitimate excuses, which can now be rationalized to not do the behavior, do not get in the way. That is the lesson of the Ramban, is to make yourself into a mukhrach, make yourself into someone who now has to do it. And therefore even what we'll call quasi-legitimate excuses will not go ahead and pull a person back. That's thought number one. Thought number two is in Perek Memches, Pasuk Chabez, is a very, very famous Pasuk. So Yaakov is speaking to Israel. Again, I'm about to die. I want to be buried with my father and grandfather. And then he throws in a line. Ani nasat l'chashem achad alachecha, asher lakachti miyad ha'emori becharbi uvekashti. Yosef is given, and we know he's buried in Shechem, and we are told that the brothers conquered Shechem becharbi uvekashti, with the sword and with the arrow. And a very, very famous Targum Unklus on the spot, that we took Shechem miyad ha'amori becharbi v'kashti. The Unklus says, what is charbi v'kashti? Bitzlosi ubibeusi, with two different kinds of tefillos. These are Aramaic words for tefillah. And the Meshech Chochmah and many other Sfarim point out that the cherev and the keshev, the sword and the arrow, really represent two types of tefillah. Tzlusi is keneged the cherev. It is our structured daily davening. And our structured daily davening has a tremendous, tremendous power and a tremendous drawback. Its drawback is that it's structured. There's a set text, and we say it every single day. And because of its structure, that's its drawback. We perhaps get into bad habits when it comes to the daily tefillos that we have on the one hand. On the other hand, it's analogized to a cherev. A cherev is very sharp, made out of iron, made out of sharp metal, and with very little exertion. Because of its sharpness, it can penetrate and do a lot of, in weaponry, do a lot of damage, and in tefillah has a lot of koach, because it's inherently, Chazal, in formulating, Anshe Knesset Hador, in formulating it, gave it a tremendous, tremendous power, a tremendous force, and therefore, on the one hand, doesn't require great exertion to hit home. On the other hand, it has a downside because it's repetitive. It is the same thing every day. That's charbi. Then there is ubekashti, which is bu'usi, which is bakosha, is our own personal tefillos. The things we just, when we talk to Hashem, and we ask for the things that we want, that we need, and it's personalized. So here already, the analogy is to a bow and arrow, bekashti. And a bow and arrow, the strength of the arrow, it's not so strong in and of itself. Usually made out of wood, yeah, it's got a sharp point, but its real power is a function of how much I exert, the energy that I put in. When I pull that bow back hard, then it's going to really, really penetrate, really hit home. And that is the way it works with our personal tefillos. And we should have personal tefillos. Tefillos are divided, ought to be divided, between the formal structure that is given to us by Anshe Knesset Hagadola and the personalized bakoshos. And those bakoshos, inherently, it's our own words. It's our own nusach. So it's not so inherently strong. It's not like that sword. But when I pull back on that bow, and I'm properly invested in that avoda, that tefillah, it can go very, very far. So these are the two forms of tefillah, both necessary, both have force. On the one hand, the structured tefillah is like a cherev. It's inherently strong, but has a downside in that its structure. The bakashos, my personal tefillos, have a big upside in that it comes from me and I can really, really be invested. The downside, of course, is that it's mine, and therefore it doesn't have the power of Chazal, of Anshe Knesset Hagadola. It's idea number two. Idea number three is a very beautiful thought. I don't remember where I saw it, but every Friday night, the Jewish people have the minhag of blessing their children. And when it comes to the sons, we bless them, Yisimcha Elokim ke'Ephraim v'Chimnasheh, just like Yaakov Avinu blessed his grandsons, Ephraim and Menashe. And the daughters, we give a bracha as well. We give them a bracha, Yisimcha Elokim ke'Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. And there is a certain asymmetry between those two brachos. Why is it that we're giving the sons a bracha to be like Ephraim and Menashe? I would have thought that the bracha for the sons would be like Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Why Ephraim and Menashe? It seems like the girls have it right. Kesara, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. So the thought I once saw, beautiful ideas, when we bless our sons, so we're giving them a very, very powerful and unique blessing. You see, Ephraim and Menashe, they were grandsons of Yaakov. Yosef was the son. Yosef was really the Shevet. But at the end of the day, Ephraim and Menashe rise to become Shvatim themselves, even though they were only grandsons. And perhaps it's a very important message there. Ephraim and Menashe represent two people, grandsons, who rose above their potential. They didn't reach their potential, they exceeded their potential. They became Shvatim, they became like sons. Yesim Chalim Ephraim and Menashe, they became like Banim, not Bnei Banim. And perhaps the bracha that we give our children every single Friday night is not that they should reach their potential, but they should see inside of them that they could, if they tap in, they could even exceed their potential. There is no limit what a young man or a young woman can go ahead and achieve. Tremendous, tremendous potential, beyond potential. And it requires, I would argue, these other two ideas that we spoke about. Idea number one is, do not let ordinary life get in the way. When you have goals, when you have visions, when you have missions, dreams, so it's easy to dream. The hard part is to execute those dreams, because sometimes life gets in the way. And sometimes there are very good excuses and rationalizations and justifications that the goals and dreams that I had in those moments of inspiration don't get realized. And therefore, take that virtual shvuah and make sure those dreams can actually happen, can be realized. Those resolutions get fulfilled. Number two, how do you do that? So I would posit you do that by being fully invested. Understand that if you just go by rote, you just do the structured daily responsibilities, okay, so you'll check the boxes. But when we go ahead and take that bow and we pull it back as far as we can, we become fully invested in the endeavor, as hard as it might be. So then we have the ability to indeed be like Ephraim and Menashe, to exceed potential, to not just hit what we're supposed to hit, but go beyond. That is the unique bracha that parents give their children every Friday night. And may we be zoche, as Mirz Hashem, we experience our life cycles, our nechamos and our smachot. May we be zoche to give our children that bracha of Yisimcha Elokim K'Ephraim Menashe.